What is up, boys and girls? It's your boy Luis Torres, and one of the questions that I'm always asked, because I have a lot of stupid gear, a lot of pedals, and double the amount in guitars. So one of the questions is, hey, Luis, which are your top 10 guitars? So instead of going through all of those, because 10 is a lot, I'm actually just gonna do my number one, baby, I love you, just my number one guitar on the planet. And as funny as it sounds, I actually don't play it as often as I probably should. And it is this guy right here. This is my 2014 Paul Reed Smith Custom 22 10 top Leprechaun tooth. So the Leprechaun is the green paint with it. It's a 10 top, so the flame is actually, is it quadruple A flame, which is what they use for their tops. It actually has the mother of pearl birds, and of course the traditional custom little truss rod cover that's on there. Here's the 10 top, which is that 10 that's right there. And so this guy, I'm actually going to put down right now. So, sometimes people are just like, should you really be patient and wait to try to find your ideal guitar, your favorite guitar? Luis, I have this money and it's burning a hole in my pocket. I really want this guitar, but this other guitar came, is now on the market. And the main question is always, well, what's going to make you happy? And, it's hard to try to make a guitarist happy just because we like everything. And this guitar, what ended up happening is at the time, I had actually picked up my first Paul Reed Smith, which was a 2006 Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. But I didn't like the color. So if you actually go through some of my earlier episodes, you'll see it. The color is called Vintage Yellow. But I didn't like it, so much so that I was this close to spending $1,800 just to have it shipped back to Maryland so they can go ahead and strip that guitar. And I actually wanted a translucent black, and then thought, for $1,800, dude, I could just buy another used Paul Reed Smith, right, custom. So I ended up keeping that one, and I realized, like, okay, cool. These are the kind of Paul Reed Smith color schemes that I like. And someone was selling this Paul Reed Smith for a ridiculous amount of money. So I reach out to him, and I noticed that his history, and this is on eBay, so his history consisted of auto parts, all auto parts. So, typically on eBay, you can look at someone's history, but only for so long, maybe the last 2 weeks worth. So you can click on view the item where they left a review or a feedback. So I click on it, I see all these car parts, and then a random Paul Reed Smith. So I reach out to the guy, I'm like, hey, just let me know what your best price is. And he sends me a price, and I'm like, to be honest, I kind of think that's still a little too high. At the time, I was watching the Paul Reed Smith secondary market on Reverb, on different used websites, like, Guitar Center, my local shop, other shops in New York City. So I kind of had an idea, of all these different guitars that were kind of out there. And they just weren't moving. They weren't moving. And I don't care, dude. You can have $1 million house, but if every $1 million house is still on the market where they're trying to sell that house for $1 million, you're not going to end up selling your house for $1 million. So this is basically what ended up happening. And I just told him, like, hey, listen, this is the price range where it should be, and you should probably be around here, and this is the top, and you're like out here. So lucky for me, he actually was just like, listen, I'll be honest with you, man. I am not a guitarist. I know nothing about guitars. Turned out that the guy actually owned a body shop, somewhere in Michigan, I think is where it was, and Michigan or Missouri. And he ended up just kind of just saying like, listen, I'm not a guitarist. I don't know anything about guitars. I ended up doing a job on a car where the guy couldn't pay me, but he said, hey, I have a guitar. In the used market, it's worth $3,500 to $3,700, which is probably right, because new at the time, it was about $4,500, $4,600 for this guitar. You don't want to know what I paid for it. So he's like, listen, just so you know, I don't want this guitar. Don't need it. Don't know anyone that I can give it to, sell it to. I just want to break even on the amount of money that I spent on this guy's stupid car to get it up and running, plus whatever it cost me to pay my guys to do the job. And I was just like, give me a number. And he's like, how about 2,000? I'm like, no way. Dude, you just told me that you're not a guitarist and you have nothing to do. I paid hundreds and hundreds. Put it to you this way, I paid almost $1,000 for this, a little over $1,000 for this guitar that at the time was worth about $3,500, $3,600. It's probably still worth about $3,300 today. And I basically paid a hair over $1,000. Just luck. Again, the guy was just like, this is what this is what I paid for in parts. It's going to be $100 to ship from Michigan, Missouri over to me. And if you wire it, actually, or send it PayPal as a friend, right? Because friends are family, you don't pay it. At the time, as funny as it sounds, at the time, there was no fee to do that. Now, PayPal has actually wisened up a bit, where if I send you money as a friend, let's say I send you $1,000, you get the 1,000, but they charge me $10, so then I'm billed out 1,010. PayPal keeps 10, you get 1,000. At the time, they didn't do that. It was so kind of brand new, where they were just like, hey, you know what? If you're going to send money to a family member or a friend, there shouldn't be a fee, and there was no fee at all. So I sent it to him like that, and that's how I got this thing. So literally super lucky. It's with the exception of some little knickknacks, but it came with a gorgeous hard case with it also, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So should you at times go ahead and hold on to your funds so you can find a great deal? Yes, absolutely. This is a perfect example of doing just that. And it's just like, okay, no, don't want that guitar, don't want that guitar, don't want that guitar, have a little more money, don't want that guitar, don't want that one, have this other one, nah, I like that one, don't really want it, let me see what else I can get. And then this guy pops up. Look at that flame. It is absolutely incredible. And these are the 5708 pickups. These pickups alone are $350. I think they're $350 new or $350 used. Maybe they're $450 new and about $350 used at this point, but absolutely gorgeous guitar. So let me go ahead and plug this guy in. Be right back. So I'm actually running out of my Mesa triple rectifier and using my Lone Wolf Audio Burning Spirit overdrive with this. So I am telling you now that if there's a certain guitar or certain amp that you're looking for, do not go ahead and decide to buy something else. Yo, there will always be something that is a speed bump that's about to just punch you in the jaw. Yo, you just gotta duck out of the way, you know? Duck, until you get that one shot and then knock them out, dude. Like, it's funny. Some of you guys reach out to me and you're like, hey, this is the guitar that I want, but there's this other one. And I'm like, yo, but you're looking at a used guitar that is $300, that new was $700, but the guitar that you really want is this guitar that was $2,000 and it's gonna cost you $700. So, it sucks when you have to sit back and wait. And it's agonizing at times, and sometimes you get to miss the deal, but there's always going to be deals, always. All of this are all deals. All deals, dude. All of my guitars, I do not buy anything new. Nothing, ever, never. But I am the most patient, actually, I'm the least patient person that you know, period. But when it comes down to gear, like I know that, if it isn't now, it'll be next week. It'll be next month. Perfect example. Allow me to demonstrate. My 1987 ESP M1 Custom neck through body is literally a 15-year search for this guy for the right price. And it is absolutely perfect and everything that I needed and wanted. This basically looks almost identical to the first ESP that I've ever had, which is a 1987 M1 Custom. And you can see it in the Marauder video for what? Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll put the link below. Anyway, so that guitar, the guitar that's in the video that Saab used to be mine, used to be his, then it was mine, and then it was his again. So that's why it's in the video. But that's literally my first ESP M1 Custom, and just needs a little dusting. But this is literally years of just waiting and waiting, and yeah, let me put an extra 50, let me put an extra 35, and just having it. Having some funds on the side ready for when the day comes to get it. And super shout out to Will, who is one of the ESP administrators with me in the ESP guitar owners group. He's the one that said, this is your guitar. And I looked at it, I was just like, stop it, and bought it off some guy in New Jersey. So, perfect example of two absolutely gorgeous guitars that if you're patient, you'll end up getting. And to me, that's everything. When you sit back and you're happy, that's everything. Yo, that's life. All right, guys. Hey, listen, thank you so much for watching. I know this is long. It's going on 14 minutes. Don't hate me. Love me. That is right. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I made you guys laugh. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And as usual, I will talk to you soon.